Y'all, do you guys not understand there's a difference between being confident and being delusional? Every video I see of 3s and 4s saying they're 9s and 10s is literally insane. I was watching a dating show this morning. This girl's like, I'm perfect. There should be a line of 9 million men around my house. Sweetie, there isn't a line because you aren't that and you're insane.
When times get tough, you need to get down. No need to look backward, put your feet on the ground. Stand up, stand up.
Welcome to the Fallen State. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Thank you so much for being with me. Remember that the Fallen State is now on locals.com, so click the link in the description to support our work. I appreciate it. And also, you can become a member of the Fallen State and support us as well on YouTube there. I have with me a very interesting guest today. You're going to love her. I have with me Emily Wilson. She is an internet personality and influencer. Emily, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Amazing. So I watched some of your shows, your interviews, where you've been interviewed by others. And I want to know, how did you get started? What made you, because you're a conservative, am I right?
Now, yeah.
But you were not a conservative at first?
No, I was diehard liberal my entire life.
Really?
And I mean, like, I literally was like, all cops are bad, Trump's racist, green hair, shave my eyebrows off. Like, I was as liberal as it gets. I did not look like this whatsoever. I post old photos all the time and people are like, that is not you.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it is.
That's amazing. What made liberals look so crazy and conservative look normal? Why do liberals go extreme?
You know what's funny? I was like, I said earlier, I was like, I believe there's two things that turn you from as left as I was to, I would say, as right as I am, even though I'm generally liberal in a lot of my beliefs due to my upbringing in LA. And I would say I'm pretty middle on most things, but I was like, I think it's, if you get money, if you start making money, you're gonna naturally become a conservative, and when you just choose to educate yourself. Yeah. It's really the two things that turned me. Yeah.
I was a liberal at one time too when I first moved here. I didn't grow up that way, but when I moved to LA from Alabama, I started listening to the so-called civil rights leaders, Jesse Jackson, all those people, and I was 18 and 19, and they convinced me that white people were racist, blacks couldn't make it, and I believed it to the lie. And once I believed the lie, I became a liberal Democrat. Yeah. It was a mess.
Which also, what a horrible thing to tell anyone.
Yeah, it is.
Imagine like telling you that at that age, but also I'm like, imagine telling a child that. Yeah. You're putting in their mind, you're never gonna amount to anything, so why even try?
Totally.
And to hate people that you don't know. That's why I'm very against all that.
Yeah, good. And how did the change happen? What made you change from liberal to conservative?
COVID, the lockdowns.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you just became a conservative a couple years ago?
Very recently. I would say probably maybe two and a half years ago?
Wow.
Truly, I mean, I just had the most normal life. Lockdowns happen. Me and everyone in my family, I would say in a matter of a week, lost our jobs. I mean, first of all, fear is crazy, what it'll do to you. Yeah. It'll really make you look at things in a different way. And I'm thinking like, oh my God, are we gonna be 5 of us in like a 1-bedroom soon? Like, what's happening? Obviously, we were all really scared. And then I just, it's so funny. I started listening to, you know, it's funny, you start listening to people because you hate them. Yeah. And I started listening to Candace Owens.
Oh, okay.
And then I started listening to Ben Shapiro, then Matt Walsh, then Jordan Peterson, all these people. I was like, these are all new views I've never heard. And I was like, I like what these people have to say. They're bold, and I've always been someone that appreciates bold people, even if I don't agree. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start, then I went crazy rabbit hole. I started listening to everything. Then I started watching Steven Crowder's Change My Mind videos, and I was like, he's right. It may not be nice, but he's right. And then I just went full blown, super red pilled, and then I started going on rants in my car, because as soon as I started talking about these things, I lost my boyfriend, lost all my friends, had no job. I mean, truly, I was completely alone. Yeah. I mean, my best friends of 11 years overnight, who I love more than anything, and I always will, were like, you're a white supremacist.
Wow.
because I didn't
understand.
support BLM. And then I started going on rants in my car, and then Newsmax picked me up.
Nice. That's amazing.
So like, it's kind of crazy and weird. But I just was not okay with anything going on. And I just went in my car alone every day, and I just went on rants.
Nice. And are your parents conservative?
My dad is.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom, I would say, is kind of, she's not in politics, so she doesn't care. But I would say she's probably more left-leaning. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, she voted
Yeah.
for Hillary, I'm sure. She doesn't like Trump. She hates Trump as a person, which I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
You and
Amazing.
everyone else. It's funny because I've always loved him because I think he's funny.
I call him the Great White Hope.
I love him. I
me
think
too.
he's hilarious.
Yeah, he is.
I
He's
would rather
amazing.
have someone real than someone who lies to me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He's from the old school.
Yeah.
I like that.
No, I respect him. I love him.
And so, how do you handle the attacks now? Now that you've switched over.
Yeah, they're intense. I will say, like, I'm not blind to the things I say, and I 100% accept the things I say. There's backlash, obviously.
Yeah.
Same with you.
Yeah.
I will say I'm probably, I'm not paranoid, but I think I'm just a little bit extra careful, especially because I do live and hang out in very liberal neighborhoods. But I mean, they don't do anything. I mean, it's crazy though. Like
Yeah.
the death threats, which primarily come from the left, especially the
Yeah, especially.
LGBTQ plus AI whatever community, they're pretty intense. But at this point, because I'm my own boss, they can no longer
Right.
threaten me. But the last job I had, the guy was like, "You're anti-vax, white supremacist," and he was like, he said at my work, he was like, "I hope that MAGA blank gets like raped to death."
Wow.
Yeah, and I mean, I get so much hate online at this point. I just shut off.
Yeah.
I try not to read the comments because they're awful. Everyone just attacks my looks constantly, which is so annoying. I'm like,
They say you're too pretty.
no, they tell me how ugly I am and everything wrong with me.
What did they say is ugly about you?
Oh my God. Anything, I mean, I was telling my boyfriend last night and he was dying laughing. He's like, "You can't listen to this. These people are nuts." He
Yeah.
goes, "Babe, they're obviously jealous." And I'm like, yeah, but as a female, you know, it's still annoying and gets to you a little bit, but you just have to learn, like, you just have to be tough.
That's
Just
right.
Go, these people don't exist. It's the internet, it's not real.
Amazing.
You know?
And so are you trying to help? When I was watching some of your videos, you talk about women
Mm-hmm.
and you talk about men too. Are you say that you're trying to help the world? Are you trying to help save America, or save women, or save men, or both? What are you doing?
I always say I'm like fighting for common sense in Los Angeles. That's like my tagline.
Yeah.
You know, because eventually I might want to get involved in local politics. And I just think this modern wave of feminism is what I believed, and I saw how damaging it was for me. It's weird, I believe now they kind of encourage women to take on these masculine roles,
Yeah.
to work to death. Then they end up not finding partners, not having families, being single. And I've never talked to a woman that's fulfilled without having those things. Like me and my girlfriends, we don't talk about our careers. We don't care. We want to talk about our relationships, future, health, wellness. That's why politics is a really good way to bring attention to other things. My goal is politics, speak the truth, common sense, stop with the cancel culture, but shift it into trying to help young girls, which, it's about helping men and women, because we both need a lot of help on both sides.
That's for sure.
I hate that there's so much blame, because it's 50-50. I believe everything's 50-50, like 50-50. But the modern wave of feminism is so damaging. It's really crazy. They don't tell us anything we need to know. And so I think because I'm a little bit younger, if I can reach young girls and tell them my story, which is not all rainbows and butterflies, and it helps at all, then I'm happy, you know?
Have you heard from women that understood what you said? They were not thinking that way, but they heard you speak the truth and it had an impact on them?
Yeah, I mean, why I keep doing what I'm doing is genuinely the amount of messages I get from girls that are like, "Thank you, because you're the only person in this town. You say everything I think, but if I said it, I'd lose my job, my friends, and I'd be completely alone." And they're like, "You make me feel like I'm not alone," you know? And if I can get girls off of birth control and all these toxic things and, more into the health and wellness space, then that's amazing. But I also want girls to be able to be themselves. And I think if they look at me, because I don't think I look and seem like a politician.
Right.
I'm not. I don't want to be. I think most politicians are horrible people.
Yeah, they are. They're
And you're
awful.
not helping.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
They're making it worse.
Yeah, I'm like, you guys ruin our lives, and then
What
we
a
pay
mess.
for your salaries. But
And then they want you
know.
to believe them and rely on them, and they're lying to you.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I talked to a lot of women over the years, and a lot of them have been convinced to have abortions and things like that, and take the morning after pill now and all that. And as they get older in life, they regret it. They
Yeah.
now feel guilty. A lot of them want to commit suicide.
Yeah.
What's your opinion about abortion and after pill and all that?
So very, very controversial. At this point in my life, I'm pro-choice. With that said, I think I'm one of the few pro-choice people that does not put a nice blanket over it. I think it's horrible. I think you are killing a baby. I'm not gonna do that. I don't understand those arguments. When it's promoted, I think it's demonic.
Yeah.
Truly. I talked to my father about it. He's 81. And he goes, look, in a perfect world, there wouldn't be abortions because
Yeah.
it would be a perfect world. He goes, well, we don't live in a perfect world. We actually live in a pretty messed up world right now. He goes, I think it should never be spoken about, should never be anything positive behind it. I understand how it can be shameful, and I don't believe in shaming women, but it should just be a private thing. When it's promoted and girls laugh about it and the protesters and all that, I think they're genuinely demonic.
Yeah.
You know?
It is evil.
It is.
It's evil
It's
for
sad
sure.
and it's heartbreaking. I just don't want to be a hypocrite when it comes to things like, vaccines and blah, blah. I'm like, well, I do believe in my body, my choice, but for me, it does go across the board. But with that said, I think there should be very strict limits. I mean, these people want to pass, like, the baby comes out and you're allowed to, like, kill it and not say, like, that's sick.
Yeah. But that's what evil does. You give
Yeah.
evil a little leeway, there's no end to its destruction.
Yeah.
There's just no end to it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It reminds me of how they're trying to brainwash the kids now. Little kids, they're teaching them to hate one another.
Yeah.
White people are bad, and there's just no end to
Yeah.
it. Same thing with this.
Yeah, you're right. There's no end to it.
Right.
It's just, you can hate everything because it could go on forever.
Forever.
Which is, like, sick. And that's kind of all I see being promoted.
Yeah, it is. How should men deal with today's woman?
Yeah.
When they date them, or should they even date them?
I know, right? I think it's really important for men. I do believe men need to go back to being masculine and being traditional. But it's funny because a lot of the women's behavior we see that men don't like, I go, but yeah, you guys encourage that though.
Yes.
That's where you got to take responsibility on both ends. I go, you don't like when girls do these things, but these are the girls you choose and you date, and you've made these things very popular.
Yeah.
And now you don't like it. But I mean, like, with my boyfriend, like, he is always brutally honest. And I think the one thing that's lacking with men and women, bottom line, is respect.
Yeah.
I think men don't respect women. Women don't respect men. We're equally using each other and
That's for
abusing
sure.
each other.
Yeah.
And that needs to start with boundaries at the beginning. You know what I mean? And I just don't really see that anymore. And also traditional roles. You lead, I follow.
Yeah, I'm going to ask about that. You obey your boyfriend?
Yeah.
You obey your boyfriend?
Yeah, I mean, obey sounds funny, but yes. Yeah, very traditional.
Nice. And when you were a liberal, would you have obeyed your boyfriend?
God, no. Any man who dated me while I was liberal, I'm like so sorry. I was the worst person. I was a mess, and I was a victim. I was a nightmare. I mean, I was drinking, doing drugs. Like, I was awful.
Really?
Awful.
And how did you feel about the guys that could not deal with you then?
They were probably great guys.
Did you respect them though?
No,
Oh, you
but
did
I didn't
not?
respect myself either.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
And why didn't you respect them though? Knowing that you were
Because
difficult.
I was like, why? I couldn't respect you because why would you tolerate me and I'm such a nightmare?
That's deep. Absolutely.
Like I was.
Yeah.
I wasn't a good person, and I wasn't a person worth having a good man at all. None of that behavior is.
Were you surprised that the guys would put up with you or try to put up with you anyway?
Oh, yeah. I'm shocked with how much they would put up with. I wouldn't put up with like one thing I did. They would put up with it for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell the guys now when you're dating, if you even the first date, you should ask the woman, are you willing to obey? Obey me. The moment they say no, get up and leave. Okay,
Yeah.
bye. It's over.
Yeah.
Because it's never going to work. You
It's-
got to have some order.
And also, it's like it's hard for me because of my personality. Like, unfortunately, in this industry, as a female, you have to be like really tough. And I am attacked so much. I'm kind of in like fight or flight 24/7. But the second I'm with him, that shuts off. That completely shuts off.
Nice.
And then I go back to being, because I feel safe. So I don't have to be a tough girl. I don't want to be that. It's not pretty, it's not feminine. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
I
that's
do.
also what I love about him is I get to be vulnerable. And if I want to cry about a mean comment, I get to. You know what I mean? Because that's what a vulnerable feminine woman does.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But without a strong man, I wouldn't be able to do that.
And how do you define a strong man for me?
I mean, I would say it just goes back to very traditional values. You're a provider, you're kind, you're honest, you're masculine, I feel safe with you. And providing is a huge thing because women can't feel safe and be feminine if they're worried.
Yeah.
If we're at it's kind of like you're almost a business partner in a relationship where a woman's like a CEO at a 9 to 5. You know what I mean?
What a mess.
No, I get it because
What
my
a
girlfriends
mess.
like that are stressed
Yeah,
all the
they are.
time.
They are.
And they're more masculine in that sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas like we're supposed to be like in fields gathering berries at the end of the day, not, putting men in their place all day.
Should a man ever marry a woman who is educated and call herself a CEO and all that?
Like a girl boss?
Right.
That is
Should-
the worst. That term makes me cringe.
Yeah.
I hate it so much. It's like made by women for women, but I hate it. But it's like, no, of course, first of all, being educated is a beautiful thing because you want to have someone you can have conversations with, someone who has goals, aspirations. But it's like, that doesn't mean you don't need a man at all. You can do those things together. I think being educated is great. I mean, I barely made it out of high school. I don't have an education.
Oh, nice.
That was never an option for me.
Beautiful.
But I educated myself through the internet because it's free.
Yeah. That's the way to go.
Yeah.
Would you, if you should get married, would you quit your job and stay home and raise the children? And
Yeah, we agreed on that.
Really?
Yeah.
And you have no problem letting all that go for your family?
No.
They don't make them like that anymore.
Well, I
That's
mean,
the problem.
I don't understand because it's like, well, that is your new job.
Yeah.
And it's the most important job in
It
the
is.
world.
Absolutely. To raise decent kids.
Yeah. So
Amazing.
and also, I'm so confused. I thought all these girls I'm like, aren't you praying to get out of a job? That would be like the happiest day of my life is like when he walks in and is like, you get to quit, let's have a family. I'd be like, oh my God. I feel like most of my girlfriends now are realizing that and they're like, sign me up. Where are these men at?
Nice.
Yeah.
It's hard for, as you said earlier, it's hard for women to find men that they can rely on, that they know is not afraid of them. They don't
Yeah.
have to tiptoe around a woman
Yeah.
and be there for them.
Yeah.
Are you a Christian?
No, it's so funny. Everyone makes fun of me because this is the most LA response. I'm not religious. I'm very spiritual, which is religion. You know what I mean? It's a connection between you and I believe a higher power and the earth and everything. I would say my dad is Christian. My mom, I think, was raised Catholic.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Maybe that's why we're a little different. But my boyfriend's Jewish, and I think,
Ooh,
which
you're dating a Jew?
yeah.
Wow.
I actually want to convert because I want to raise our children Jewish and send them to Jewish schools. So I'll probably,
They will get a good education for sure.
yeah. I think it's a beautiful culture.
So, yeah, I do too.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way that they are family oriented, and they do make sure the fathers and mothers make sure their kids are
Yeah.
able to take care of themselves
Yeah.
when they become adults,
They're all really smart.
and they walk them down the road on Saturdays.
I see that. I know what you're talking about. It's such a very specific LA thing. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And so you're willing to convert to Judaism.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I went to Israel a couple of at least once, and we sent another trip over there, and Israel was amazing.
Yeah, I want to go.
I said that if I was God, in order for you to get in heaven, you would have to have gone to Israel first before you die, right?
I really want to go.
You walk through the Bible. It's just really, really, really an amazing place to visit. And growing up, I had always wanted to go to Israel, so I had
Yeah.
a chance to go.
I never had religion growing up, and I genuinely believe it structures people to have a better outcome.
Yeah, it does.
I do.
It definitely does.
You know, I hate to say it, but I think it's true.
It is true. And so, what is spiritual? How do you know when you are a spiritual person?
It's funny because people think it's like such an LA thing when I say, and I'm like, it's just the fact that like I was never raised around religion. It wasn't in my life at all. And I think it kind of comes from like, for me, it's like I hit rock bottom. Then honestly, the person I listened to the most was Dennis Prager. He was the one that made me spiritual and religious and all these things because I listened to him and I was like, I like what he has to say. I feel like he's not putting fear into me. He's not talking down to me. He's telling me like, there's something bigger than you. You need to know that. And you need to like be a good person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not for anyone else, for you.
For you.
And I think it's like such a personal journey. And that's what I like about it, is it's just like mine.
Wow, that's cool you listen to Dennis. Dennis is a good friend. I've known him for 30-something years now. And he's a really good person to be listening to, that's for sure.
He like brings me to tears when he talks.
Yeah.
I think he's a really special person.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of respect for him.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So how does your parents feel about you considering converting to it? And you should anyway.
Oh.
If you marry a guy who is
Yeah.
Jewish, you should.
And it's a respect thing.
Yeah.
And also it's like, yeah, I want the kids to be raised Jewish and all these things. And like I said, centered around family, education, all these things. Why would I not set my kids up for the best outcome possible?
That's right.
And honestly, I needed that structure growing up. I didn't have it and I was wild.
Yeah. You're right
You need
about
a little
that.
fear too.
You do.
Yeah.
Amazing. Do you have anger?
Yeah.
You have anger.
Yeah, I do.
And how do you feel about having anger?
I'm just trying to deal with it.
You're trying to deal with it.
Yeah.
And how are you dealing with it? When you say I'm trying to deal with it, what are the steps you're taking to deal with it?
You know, it's like that's how I feel about, honestly, I just recently got a gym membership and just taking it out there. But I quit all drugs a while ago. I quit drinking recently. And I mean, you just have to like find something to like distract yourself and let it go. For me, it's like cooking can be therapeutic, gym, just turn it into something good. Cause like the thing is my boyfriend sees it because I break down once in a while. I take in so much content on a daily basis, and I hate to say it, none of it's good.
Right.
There's never good news. No one's ever saying anything nice. All I see is like horrific videos and crime and everything 24/7, and it takes a toll on you because you're like, sometimes you're like, God, is this the world? Like it kind of like breaks your soul a little bit, and then you just have to be like, take a day and go to the beach, see something beautiful. I don't know.
Because that stuff is so evil, it's not good to be watching that stuff all the time.
It takes a toll.
And it's not good to hang out with people who are evil.
Yeah.
Because evil can corrupt you if
Yeah.
you hang out with it too long.
Well, that's what I love about my friend group is I would say I'm kind of like the intense one, and they're all very light. You know, it's good to like, because I don't hang out. It's very rare I hang out with people in politics.
Yeah.
But even the kids I do, they're so like happy, but it's nice to relate and talk to them. But in general, it's like you just have to like take a step back and then be like, this isn't the world. I live here. I'm very blessed. I'm very lucky. Go to the beach, have a nice lunch, just like let it go.
Nice.
Because every time I want to have a meltdown or go online, because sometimes I just want to literally log on and just go off. And then I'm like, why? I just look nuts. I look like an idiot.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean?
You're fighting with the devil.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and these people aren't going to change.
No.
They're not going to be like, oh, she's right, after 3 years of her saying the same things. You know what I mean? So you just got to let it go.
Amazing. Do you believe, it's a question, do you believe that you can overcome anger completely because it is a spirit, it can be taken away from you?
I don't think completely.
Really?
For me, anger is a really good thing.
In what way?
It just pushes me.
Really?
I'm so fueled by people being mean to me and saying no and I can't, that it just like pushes me to be like, I'm gonna do something you would never expect. Like I'm really thankful. I can turn that into like passion and drive where I think some people just let it like eat them alive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But anger causes you to live in your imagination, and it makes you believe things that seem real, but they're not real. It builds you up. You feel good. And the moment you're feeling good, it can tear you down,
Yeah.
give you another bad image or a bad thought, right?
Yeah.
And so you're up and down emotionally and mentally.
Yeah.
Why not overcome it completely and operate from pure energy that comes
to.
from God?
I need to like a Buddhist monk. Yeah. I'd love to get to that level. Eventually, I would love to.
Yeah, and
You know what I mean? Yeah.
You can. Want me to tell you how?
Yeah.
Forgive your mother
Yeah.
for imposing her will on you, causing you to become angry as a child, turning you away from your father, and she recreated her image. If you apologize to her for resenting her for that, she couldn't help it.
Yeah.
She resents her mother. And so she's done to you what was done to her. And if you don't overcome anger, you'll do it to your children as well. But if you forgive your mother for what she's done, and forgive your father for not protecting you from her, then God will forgive you, and he'll take the spirit of anger from your imagination, from your heart, and you'll be fine.
It's funny. That's like what we were talking about yesterday. I think you get to like a point in life where you forget your parents are like also just people who had trauma happen to them.
100%.
And it's like the second you stop seeing them as parents, but as people, and you're like, okay, you did the best you could because you came from a really not great situation.
That's right.
And actually, you did it with the best intentions. And I should just be happy that I even have you guys because a lot of people don't.
So if you face her and forgive her, hey, mother, I'm sorry for resenting you. I realize now that you couldn't help yourself.
Yeah.
And because I've gone through a lot, I've done things I wish I had not done and couldn't help myself. Then I'm telling you, don't ask for forgiveness. You apologize for resenting her.
Yeah.
Then God will forgive you, and He will take anger away, and you will become motivated by a higher level of consciousness, and it'll blow your mind.
I mean, I believe that because we've gone in those steps, and I'm like, oh, I feel so good after. I feel like energized, like I want to go out, and I'm like happy. You know what I mean?
When you will have that 24 hours a day, once you forgive your mother and forgive your father for not being able to, because your father's afraid of her.
Because he loves her so much, and she's beautiful.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
Oh, good. That's another reason he didn't really deal with her, right?
Yeah.
Because if you deal with her, she's going to say, no, you got to sleep on the couch tonight.
No, she's very beautiful.
Yeah,
I'll
forgive
agree
her,
with that.
all right?
Yeah.
And your father,
And
too.
she means well. They both mean well. They're genuinely good people.
They definitely mean well.
I feel very lucky.
They definitely mean well.
Yeah.
I noticed that women think that they can save someone. Have you noticed that about women?
Yeah, it's like most women.
And why do they think that?
I think naturally we're very nurturing people. And so I think it just comes along with literally being a woman. Is like you naturally like to take care of things. The same way I'll love to take care of a baby. I love to take care of my boyfriend. I love to take care of my family. It's like, I think you just naturally like that. So you see someone, you're like, oh, they're broken, but I can fix them. And I think by fixing them, it kind of makes us think that we're special. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we're going to become irreplaceable to them.
Amazing.
Do you know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is not true at all.
So it's not at all.
It's not at all.
At all.
They'll just
one
be
iota.
fixed and then go to the next girl.
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So when women say that they are nurturing, I feel nurtured, they're saying that nurturing feeling feel like it can save, like God.
Yeah, kinda.
What the?
Maybe.
That's amazing.
Like maybe. I don't know.
Is that amazing?
I don't know.
How does your boyfriend deal with the hell in you when it comes out?
I don't let it out. He wouldn't tolerate it.
So
I tried very carefully.
Oh, good.
Yeah, for the first time.
That's the way it should be.
Well, because it also comes with like fear.
Yeah.
Fear of losing him.
Yeah.
Like he's like, you go mouth off all day on the internet. That's fine. But I love you and take care of you. So there's absolutely no reason that should be coming my way, which is true. Why would I go do that all day and then like abuse him when all he's done is literally been, supportive. So I make sure like when I am with him, like it's done. It's done for the day.
So how are you able to say how you met him? Because that's so rare, especially your generation.
Yeah.
That's so rare today to hear men being able to deal like that.
I mean, my dad literally said, he was like, you better not mess this up. I think you found the last man.
Yeah.
in your generation, because he was like, everyone's like a woman to me now. He's like,
Female
you guys
all
are
the
so
way.
nuts and emotional, and all the guys are like babies, and they want you working 15 hours a day, and it's just like, he's like, no, you're very lucky you found the last traditional man, basically.
And so were you like walking down the road on a Saturday? And you just,
I wish. That sounds so much better. No, we met through mutual friends, and he knew me when I was liberal, and then randomly messaged me years later and was like, yeah, you seem super different. You want to go out? And then after the first date, we stayed together.
nice.
Yeah.
What do you think about the, there are some women out there pretending to be conservative women, but they're really not.
Yeah.
Have you ever ran into women like that?
Yeah, and I would say that I was kind of one of those. I was kind of joining the Republican movement very early on when I was still, out every night partying, going
Yeah.
on dates every night, like with different guys. And then, that's not, I really hated those people that were like, you're not conservative. But looking back, I'm like, they were kind of right. I wasn't promoting anything that has to do with conservatism, if that's even a word.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I am now because I agree with a lot of the conservative things, but to be fair, I really wasn't. If every photo of you on Instagram is in an American flag bikini, you're not a conservative woman. I just don't see how that could be conservative. I had an issue like that yesterday where one girl said something to me and I just was like, put clothes on and then I'll take you seriously.
Nice.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. And also, if you want to be on this side of the movement, I do think it's really embarrassing. It makes us look silly.
Yeah.
You can't be like a sex worker and then be like, I'm a conservative. I'm like, take the word conservative. That's not you.
That's right.
And we're trying to promote women having class so they can have standards, so they can find good men and have a family and all these things. And I'm sorry, that doesn't have to do with sex work or posting bikini photos online.
That's amazing.
It just doesn't.
That's amazing. The one thing that I like about what you're saying, the fact that you listen to Dennis Prager, then
Yeah.
you are a conservative.
Yeah.
Because the liberals hate Dennis. They literally
I don't
hate him
understand how you can hate him.
because evil hate good.
Yeah, because they see light and they're dark.
Yeah.
Truly.
The darkness hate the light.
He's
That's
not
what it's all about.
judgmental at
Not
all.
at all.
He got me into religion by not
Yeah.
being judgmental because everyone else, I said too much. I don't like feeling like I'm judged and I'm going to burn in hell because I've made mistakes because I was unhappy.
Right.
And he's just not like that.
That's right. That's one thing I really, really respect about him.
Yeah.
Is that he speaks the truth, but he's totally non-judgmental. Just not there at all.
Which is crazy because he could be.
Yeah, he could be.
He has a lot of power and influence
Yeah.
and he could be totally abuse it and he doesn't.
I noticed, and you're right. I noticed that today's women, when they do get married, they have like 1 kid, 2 kids, maybe 3. Would you, because we need more white babies?
Well, won't hear that online ever again. Quite the opposite I hear online.
We need a whole bunch of white babies. That's one thing I like about the Mormon.
Well, our baby will only be half white, but
Oh yeah.
my boyfriend's Persian, so
Oh, yeah?
100%, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So he's kind of dark skinned?
Yeah.
Oh, he's not like white like a white Jew.
No, 100% Persian. Family came from Iran.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
But you can't go to Iran.
No, well, they
won't let
they
you
escaped.
come back, right?
No, I don't think it's safe enough.
Right.
Yeah, they left everything they had and came here.
But how many kids are you willing to have? Do you know at this point?
Well, there's 4 of us, plus a half, so 5. I feel like I love my siblings, and that's I don't really, it's weird to picture a life without them.
No.
And so minimum 2 to 4.
Really? And what would happen if your husband said he want 10?
I can't do 10. I can't. He doesn't want 10.
He doesn't?
He doesn't want to. He couldn't handle 10. He does not want 10.
Yeah.
He has a brother. Great. 2's great. 4's great. 3 would be awesome. I can do 3.
Amazing.
Yeah. I'm open.
But we need white babies. We need a lot of white. Even though you're
Yeah.
dating.
Yeah.
You still look like you're white, so hopefully the
Yeah.
baby will come out a little white.
He's pretty fair-skinned.
Right. But we need white babies because white people are under attack. They are hated. The whites are hated more than Satan.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to say that, but I speak to my friends and I go, the past 2 years, especially this administration, has completely promoted not only like racism, but actually like physical abuse, violence, and murder against white people.
Yeah.
And years ago, when I used to listen to people talk about white replacement theory, I was like, that's a conspiracy and the craziest thing I've ever heard. And now I'm like, no, they want to make it normal to not see white people in society. And as we slowly decline, it's true. Like TV, billboards, ads. I mean, if you saw like a white straight couple on anything now, you'd be like shocked.
Yep.
And like whatever, it still sounds crazy to people, but it's kind of scary. And I feel it. I notice it.
I often wonder, and I talk to a lot of my white friends about this, what is it like? You know, white people founded America, right? They discovered this country. They created the best country on this side of heaven with the help of God. White men founded this country. And then they invited all these other people in, and these people are coming into this country illegally and everything. And they hate the man that built the country. I'm like, how do you go to someone's home, they welcome you in?
You're like, this place sucks.
Right.
You're like, what do you mean? What do you mean? You're here.
Yeah.
Well, that's my thing is like, it sounds so generic, but it's like, you ask people, well, I mean, there was an interview and it was, of course, I mean, I genuinely believe the most racist people in the world are white liberals.
Oh yeah, they're helping to destroy it.
Yeah, they're right along with it, virtue signaling and, you know, gaslighting everyone in America. But it's funny, it's like, so first of all, if you're in America, I don't think you've experienced much racism. When you go to other countries, it is very real. And it's funny because it's like, where's better? Where's better than here? Because here, you're treated better than anyone.
Yep.
And also I'm like, what happened to like, no one cares about poor white people in middle America. Most of America's like poor white people. No one cares about them.
They don't even
get
talk
a day.
about them,
No, that's like, no one talk, they don't even exist.
Yeah.
They go, good. Who cares about you guys? I think that's horrible. But if you say that, they're like, well, they had it easy. Like I've stated online and many times, I don't believe in white privilege.
It doesn't exist. It's another made-up lie.
If
It's
you
just
say
another
that,
made-up lie.
oh,
It's
you're
a
a
total
white
made-up
supremacist.
lie.
I go, what do you mean?
Yeah.
What is that? If I'm a white supremacist, then white supremacists are actually pretty decent people.
That's
considering my best friends are black and my boyfriend's not white either. So I guess we're a pretty tolerant group then, aren't we? I'm like, what is it? I'm like, my father's 81 years old, drives 2 to 4 hours a day, and works 5 days a week.
Amazing.
What's his white privilege? Also fought for this country, including his whole family. But I'm like, where is it? Is it real? Can I touch it? Can you prove it?
Why do you think, and we play on my radio show, we deal with this type of stuff. Why do you think white men don't speak up? Because if white men spoke up and said, no, I'm not your problem, you know, they give them the finger, right?
I mean, to be fair, white straight men right now are demonized by society. I mean, you say anything right now, you're losing your job, people are coming after you, your life's being threatened.
But if they don't speak up, it's only going to get worse.
Well, yeah, why is it on me? I'm like a 100-pound little white girl,
Right.
and Lord knows how many death threats I get on a daily basis. I go, why is this on my shoulders? You guys need to be men and be like, hey, this isn't okay anymore. I'm tired of everyone being abused. I'm tired of being told constantly, I'm a bad person. I don't deserve anything. Everything's been handed to me. I'm like, I've been working since the day I got out of high school. 2 to 4 jobs at a time. I'm like, I'm so sick of hearing about it. And I'm honestly really sick of just the amount of hate towards white people on a daily, which I experience. I mean, my thing is like, I don't understand. Am I not allowed to experience things and then have an opinion on them and then potentially even a bias? Am I not allowed to read data that's unbiased and exists?
Yeah.
I mean, God forbid you state a crime statistic. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I had a job, they'd be coming, I'd be gone. I lost every job I had after I came out as a Republican because that's like the worst thing you could ever come out as. Yeah.
Yeah, as a black person, that happened to me too because I was a Democrat, everyone loved me. Fake love. It wasn't a real deal.
Yeah, it's not real.
And as soon as I became a Republican, they're like, what happened to you?
You're the crazy one.
Yeah.
It's like Larry Elder, the face of white supremacy.
I know.
You're like, what? It's crazy. And
It's
that's how all
insane.
my friends are. They're like, yeah, there's just no winning.
But what I don't understand, and I do understand, even though I'm saying I don't understand, white men and white people are afraid to speak up because they're afraid of losing something, right?
Yeah.
They're afraid of their reputation being destroyed, or
Yeah.
they're afraid of losing their jobs. But by not speaking up, they're losing
They're
those
losing the
things
country
anyway, right? They're losing the
everything.
whole country.
Yeah.
And so why not just say, you know what? Since I'm gonna lose it anyway, I'm gonna speak up.
Why not have some pride?
Right.
If you're gonna go down with something that matters.
That's right.
Like your assistant job at Netflix. You know what I
right.
mean? It's like,
Yeah.
who cares? It's the fact that like, I feel like for years, I've taken the burden and weight of everyone coming to me venting their problems.
Yeah.
And they go, well, you go and say it.
Yeah.
Why don't you say it? I'm tired of I'm at the point, I respected everyone. I go, stay silent, do your thing. I get it, you have a job, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I gave up everything. I risked everything. I thought I was gonna have to move out of the state. I can never work here again. But I'm like, why don't you do something? The reason this is this bad is because you're silent.
Yeah.
So like have a
100%.
backbone, especially these guys. I go, why don't you, for the first time in your life, be a man? It starts here by saying something.
Nice.
But
Amazing.
we'll see. I don't know.
It's crazy. The same thing that happened in South Africa is happening here,
Mm-hmm.
whereas the whites in South Africa refused to speak up too. They were pressured and pressured. They shut down.
Yeah.
And so they turned the country over to the blacks. And the blacks are ruling, but the blacks have gotten worse. They have just, because evil people hate weak people. It just brings out the worst in them. And so in
Yeah.
South Africa, as it is here, by whites being afraid, they're bringing out the worst in the blacks.
Yeah.
They're just getting bad, right?
Well, yeah,
And
we're
so-
allowing them
Yeah, that's
to-
right.
to act this way when
Yeah.
it's like someone needs to check them, and that doesn't make you a racist. It doesn't make you a bad person.
Well, there's no such thing as racism anyway. That's another made-up lie. But let me just finish this thing. In
Yeah.
South Africa, the blacks took over. They started taking the land from the whites without compensation. They were running the government and everything. And now they want to ration the water. They said that white people get the water after the blacks and the women get it. Whatever left over, the white can have some. That's going to happen in America too if the whites don't start speaking up.
That's rough.
Isn't that amazing?
That doesn't seem fair, right?
It's evil.
And no, I was gonna say that's actually just horrible.
It's pure evil. But I can't believe that the white people know that happened in Africa, and by them by not speaking it over there, it's the same thing as happening here, but yet they won't say anything.
No.
They won't say no to these people.
I don't know how bad. I mean, I can't. It's already so bad. I'm like, how bad does it have to get?
It's going to get worse.
I agree. Unfortunately,
It really.
unfortunately, I agree.
The conservatives are going to have to hide behind rocks.
Literally.
It's going to be bad. Yeah. It's going to get
Well,
worse.
I support everyone to protect themselves,
Me too.
however that means.
Also, I got to ask this.
Yeah.
Racism doesn't exist. It's another made-up lie. Our battle is a spiritual battle between right and wrong,
Agreed.
good and evil. And so
Yep.
this word racism is just made up to cover up evil. And unless people understand that, it can't get better either.
I've been saying this the whole time. I'm like, I'm so sick of all the terms they put on this. I
yes.
go, this is 100%
Yep.
a spiritual battle,
100%.
good and evil. And unfortunately, if you're not speaking up right now, I think you're kind of part of the evil.
You are.
Yeah.
You're worshiping and going along with evil.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's funny. I love that you said that because I was like, this really is a spiritual battle.
It is spiritual.
And everything they're doing to break our spirits.
Yes.
And divide us and tear us apart and all these things by putting labels on everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I love
wow. That's amazing. Isn't that like
I
amazing?
love that you get that because like everyone I'm around is like very religious or spiritual and they understand it.
Yeah.
And I love that. And I'm drawn to those people and they're drawn to me. And I think it's very important. That's why I'll be in a coffee shop with 50 people and if they're like me, we seek each other out.
Yeah.
We speak to each other somehow. And they're like, oh, you're like one of us. And I'm like, I love it. We're getting
Amazing.
bigger. We're getting bigger by the day.
Oh, yeah. It's
We're
growing.
recruiting.
That's amazing. Another thing that blows my mind, but I do understand it. Right now, a lot of conservative mothers, I guess they're conservative, are fighting with the LGBT folks
Yeah.
and they're fighting with the schools because they want to teach the kids that stuff,
Yeah.
right? Like they did with the...
Critical race theory?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what a mess.
Yeah.
But my thing is, okay, mothers, you don't want your children to be taught that. Why not just take them out of the schools?
Yeah.
Stay home and educate the children
Because that would
yourself and
involve
raise the
work,
children.
which,
Right.
God forbid, you have to work and actually do something to help save your children.
Yeah.
Because public school at this point is not an option.
And the public school are going to put that mess in anyway.
Yeah.
They're going to do it knowing that the parents don't want it. They're going to sneak and do it. They said
Which they're already doing.
They're already doing
And then they're telling the parents to shut up and go away and they don't have rights.
That's right.
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
We pay your salary.
But it's just blows my mind that the mothers and the fathers don't love their children enough, where the father say to the mother, you stay at home, sorry.
Yeah.
We're not going to put our children
Yeah.
in these schools, and the fight would be over.
Yeah, my
It would
kid's
just
not
be
going to
over.
come out a communist with
Yeah.
9 genders.
Amazing.
It's not going to happen. I'll pull him out of school and I'll teach him myself if I have to.
And so, but they'd rather sacrifice the children to the school for their own ego pleasure,
Yeah.
rather than loving the kids and staying home and raising the kids.
Yeah, it's sad. It's really selfish and narcissistic.
That's amazing. So I've said that one of the biggest mistakes that this country made is that they allow women to vote.
I'm not going to lie. Ever since we started voting, it's really gone downhill.
Wow.
Like,
Yep.
it has.
Yep.
It's like, how are women better off? They're all like working jobs, miserable, depressed, single. I don't understand. I would happily give my husband my bank account and not vote. I would assume, as an intelligent man, he knows what's best for all of us.
Other than Ann Coulter, you know,
Yeah.
you're the only other young woman that I heard agree with that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
They all say, women need the right to vote. I'm like,
for what?
The country going to hell because of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and also statistically, our happiness ever since we've been able to vote has been on the decline.
Yeah.
Same with, I think, our health.
Yeah.
I think we're miserable, fatter than ever, on drugs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Single, can't find a partner. I don't know, I think you should let men lead the country. I believe women should be able to do whatever job in the world they want. I think men tend to be a little bit better at those jobs.
Yeah.
And maybe even like politics. I think that's so much more of a man's game.
It is.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah, that's why I don't
100%.
even feel the need to go into it. I think locally to make a difference, especially if I want to be a mom, I'll get involved with the school boards.
Yes.
I'll go after them. But I think leave it to the men on that one.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I don't have an ego about it.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's the solution to all of this? How do we bring everything back to order again?
Oof. I don't know. We need like a awakening of spirituality, religion. We need to go back to our roots, what was great. I
Yeah.
don't know, maybe moving out of big cities. I don't know. People need to be around like the ocean and farms and land and animals and all these things. And I just think everything here is meant to just break us.
Yeah.
I think having a sense of community is really important. That's why I'm like working on a lot of projects now where I can reach people all across the country, help educate them so we can not let these dictators do what they did again to us. I don't know though. It's hard because our voices are so suppressed. I mean, every time I post, I just assume it's my last post. I get taken down. I mean, I said, hi, my name is Emily, and got taken down for hate speech.
Really?
I go, oh, saying my name is hate speech now. Meanwhile, you know, a trans activist will tell me how they're going to decapitate me, and I report that, and Instagram goes, no, it's fine. It's fine. I go, okay.
What do you think about all this LGBTQ stuff that's happening now? It's like it's in the forefront of everything now. Mm-hmm. What do you think about all that?
Yeah, I had like a little bit of a meltdown yesterday because I was like, this is shoved in our faces. And this is why normal people who support it across the board are having an issue. This is shoved in our faces on a level I've never seen in my life. I mean, I'm going to eat the Starbucks, the coffee shop, the cookies on the table, everything. Everything is for this suppressed group of people. And I'm like, I don't understand. You're less than like 1% of the population, yet all of us should cater to you.
Right.
And to be honest, none of you guys seem to be successful. You seem to be very mentally ill.
Very
and bottom
unhappy.
line, if we ever shoved Christianity or Judaism or anything down these people's throats, they'd be rioting in the streets.
Yes.
I'm sick of it. Sex should be private,
Yeah.
and it should absolutely never be around children. You want to have drag shows and do that? Great. 18 and over.
No
if you
problem.
want to do it around a child,
Yeah.
you're a pedophile.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of hearing the discussion, and all the death threats I get come from that community. And frankly, they're a little loud, and I think we're all a little sick of it.
Yeah, yeah. What's interesting is weird to me, though I understand it again, is that in the good old days, if a man dared to go outside in a dress, you would like think, what's wrong with him?
As you should, because that's the
Right.
normal reaction.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what the?
Yeah.
And
He's crazy. Stay away from him.
Right. But now they're trying to force you to accept a man in a dress. I mean,
And I see it. I hang out in very liberal parts of the neighborhood where
Yeah.
there's a man who literally will look like you, but with a mini skirt on. And I go, wait a minute. So, first of all, you are allowed to wear that skirt out in public. You are not allowed to control how I feel
That's
and the
right.
comments I choose to make about it.
Yeah.
You don't get to do that. The same way I get backlash online. I've accepted that. But I'm like, it's mental illness. We used to put these people in rooms with padded walls,
Yeah.
which is kind of where they belong. I go, there's two genders. Anything else, you're insane. And a lot of these people, unfortunately, shouldn't be parents that are like, you're taking your kids to like all these things are sexual. And I'm like, that guy's nuts.
yeah.
I don't like to be around crazy people, and I definitely don't want their opinions on how society should go.
Yeah, if anything, you're right. They should be trying to help them.
Yeah.
You know, get over that trauma, whatever happened that caused
It's
them to want
trauma.
to dress. It is
I'm
trauma.
tired of people
Yeah.
trying to convince me these people don't have severe
No, they have-
childhood trauma.
They do, that's what
Which
it
they
is.
do.
Yeah.
I go, why are you dressing like a little girl?
Yeah, that's why you can't hate them, but you can't accept the abnorm thing as a norm either.
Yeah.
But just don't hate because they've definitely been traumatized.
Yeah.
And they need help.
Yeah, they need help.
Yeah.
But why is encouraging and accepting delusion? That's not help. That's actually hurting the person.
You know, they allow all this mess to happen because they want us to be divided.
Yeah.
They want us fighting one another.
Which
They
is all we
want
do
us to
now.
Yeah, that's all we ever do.
That's all we
fight
do.
Now.
So I feel like constantly all I'm doing is defending myself and my views.
Yeah.
You know?
What I've done is just, I don't try to prove anything
Mm-hmm.
to anyone. If they want to know what's right, I point them back to God. He'll
Yeah.
show them. If they don't want it, I wish you well.
Yeah.
You know, go
Yeah,
and
I
suffer.
hope you get help, and I hope you're okay.
Right.
And I hope
Suffer
you do
in your
find
health.
God eventually,
Absolutely.
in whatever form that God might be.
Whatever. But I wish you well. I'm not trying to prove it. I'm not going to argue with
Yeah.
you. You have a right to be wrong.
Yeah.
Because what I notice is that God doesn't force anyone to change. He's made the way. And
Yeah.
so if you don't want to do it, he's fine with that. And so I was looking up at him one day, and I noticed that he and his son, Jesus, was sitting up there. They had this big TV turned on, and he had Jesus go over to Starbucks and get some coffee.
Did he order the Pride coffee?
They had the pride
They,
coffee.
oh, thank God.
And they were just shaking their head at how crazy.
The rainbow cookies.
like,
I was like, I didn't know cookies had a sexual preference.
I know.
Isn't it? Everything's gay now.
you know, another thing that I'm stunned by, though, when you have a business, you're in business to make money.
Yeah.
To earn a living. And whatever your business is about is for anyone that wants it, right? You're just there to make.
Yeah.
I'm surprised at the number of companies that are promoting LGBT and stuff and all this stuff.
And
they don't seem to care about the other potential clients or customers they would
Yeah.
get. They have gotten involved political where before they didn't. You never knew what a company, which side they supported.
Yeah, I don't
The
want to
head
know.
of the, I don't want to know.
Just make the product.
That's right.
Let me buy it, and don't force anything on me.
That's right. But I'm surprised that they're willing to lose customers and go down in stock values
Yeah.
to support.
You have to wonder, me and my friends were talking about this, when you're losing billions and you're okay with it,
Yeah.
that scares me,
Yeah.
because that means there's something else going on
Absolutely.
that we don't know, because all these people care about is money.
Yeah.
they don't care about gay people.
That's
They
right.
don't support them. They don't care about women's rights, whatever.
Right.
It's like, apparently we don't have those according to the women on my profile. But I just am like, what's behind that?
Yeah.
Because that has to be another part of, I say, this spiritual warfare.
It is.
If you're losing money and you're okay with it,
I
don't like
often
it.
wonder who is behind this, because I'm sure these business owners are not just waking up one day, oh, you know what, I think I'm going to go LGBT.
yeah, there's no
support
way
today.
God was like, Dylan Mulvaney's great for us.
Right.
All of
Yeah.
the conservatives drinking our beer in the Midwest, this is great.
Something else is behind it. I got to heat up this interview.
Yeah,
I got to put you on the hot seat.
let's do it. Since that's all day, every day for me.
And I need you to answer these questions as quickly as possible.
Okay, let's go.
The hot seat.
What is love?
What is love? A mix of feelings and actions.
Do we need more white babies?
Why not?
Did you know that I started White History Month in July?
Yeah.
And this is our 6th year coming up of celebrating White History Month
Wow.
in July.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. And you know why I picked July as White History Month? It just feels white.
Just feels white. Feels right. Love it.
What would you do if you woke up tomorrow and all of the makeup in the world was missing?
Oh, I'd be sad. I'd have a lot more free time.
Do you agree that women used to make... What's this?
We used to mate.
Oh, do you agree that women use too much makeup nowadays?
Yeah, I'm guilty sometimes. I get a little excited.
You don't look like you need makeup.
Thank you.
So
I
what-
like it.
You just like it?
It's like an activity for me.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird.
Oh.
It's like fun.
Is vaping beta?
It's the most unattractive thing in the world. Disgusting.
Would you ever date a beta male today?
No.
True or false, abortion is worse than slavery?
Oof. No?
Are women who get cosmetic surgery evil?
No.
Is it ever okay to call a woman fat?
Yes.
Have you ever told anyone how the cow ate the cabbage?
No. I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that.
So what?
Never heard of that.
Oh, who would you rather see as president? Lizzo, Kanye West, AOC, Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton, or Hunter Biden?
Sorry, Kanye.
Nice.
Now, next is Hunter.
What is a man?
What is a man? What chromosomes? X, double X? What are they? I'm an idiot.
Does a bear shit in the woods?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah? I think they do.
Did you have fun?
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank
That was
you.
amazing. That was really, really amazing. I knew it was going to be amazing,
Yeah.
but I didn't know how much amazing.
I honestly thought you were gonna hit me with such harder, and I thought it was gonna be all like just hitting me nonstop with race questions, and I was like, oh boy, here we go. But I'm ready. I was like, I'll always be honest.
Nice.
That's why I don't prepare for interviews. I go, don't send me questions.
Yeah.
I'm gonna answer what I believe
I love that.
and be honest, no matter what. You know what I mean?
Right on.
That's why I'm like, don't send me anything. I'm ready.
Nice. Tell the folks how to get to your website or whatever you want to promote.
Just at Emily Saves America on Instagram. I never know when they're gonna take me down on other platforms, so that's best. Twitter,
Nice.
I get a little bit more spicy.
Oh, good.
Thanks, Elon.
Are you voting for the Great White Hope this time around?
Yeah,
And the last thing about that, there are so many rhino Republicans running now.
Yeah.
What do you think about all that?
Oh, I don't like Mike Pence.
Yeah.
I think he's I think he's a rat. I don't like him. Trump made a great announcement, I believe, yesterday about how he really wants to dive deep, and this is very spiritual to me, on why Americans are so sick and the rise of diabetes and
saw that.
autism and all these things. And I was like, God, that is might be my favorite thing he's ever said that he wants to go into. I think that's incredible. That goes into the spirituality, health and wellness. But yeah, I love Trump, always gonna love Trump. If he can tone it down a little bit so we can get through this, but at the same time, I worry, because if he wins, the left is just gonna burn the country down like they did.
Yeah, but that's fine.
But that's fine.
Yeah, totally
Maybe
fine.
we need a new country.
And I don't want him to tone it down.
Well, you know what I
want
mean?
him-
It's like just when it's like go hard,
Yeah.
but go hard in the right way. Go hard for America.
Well, that's what he's doing
Yeah.
now.
We'll see.
He is fighting for America, but they hate him because he's an individual.
Yeah.
He's not afraid. He's white.
He's a rich white man.
He's male. He's very independent.
Well, he
and
loves
they
America.
And he loves
They
America.
hate America.
They
I don't know
hate
why.
it.
I think everyone that hates America should leave and go somewhere else.
I often wonder, why don't y'all just leave?
Just leave. If it's so bad
Yeah.
and there's so many better places, why aren't you there?
Amazing.
If I hate a restaurant, I get up and go to another one.
That's right.
It's pretty simple.
Well, thank
Doors
you.
open, walk across.
They can, just like the illegal coming in,
Yeah.
they can just cross back aboard.
They'll let you out. They'll open
let 'em out.
the little
That's
gate for you.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
coming.
you.
I too appreciate it. And thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. Check out our merch, amazing merch. And don't forget that the Flawless State is now on locals.com. locals.com. Click the link. And also you can support us by becoming a member of the Flawless State on our YouTube channel. Thank you all so much. And thank you again. Amazing.
I was like, honestly, I felt like that was so easy. I was so ready and scared for like the tough questions.
Really?
Yeah.
But to liberals, those are tough questions
These are the easiest questions I've ever had in an interview.
because you're ready to be honest.
This thing, as long as you're honest, there's no
Nothing to be
interview.
afraid
People
of.
go, do you want me to send you 80 questions? I go, I don't give a shit. Ask me whatever you want.
That's
I'm gonna
right.
be honest and I'm not gonna be like, let me
Absolutely.
think for 5 minutes.